You're gonna have to pull that out though when we
I know,
start, you know?
Pull it out like
Okay.
this so you can't see the bag. Because it's like a mom Marshall's bag.
That's a cool bag. I like flamingos. They're legit. Okay, this is episode 59 of the 100 podcast. We're gonna have a Sunday brunch here. So I brought in Sam Schmidt. I don't know if any of you, well, most of you guys probably do know her because she went to La Quinta. So
I did.
I have so many La Quinta alums that come through. I feel so bad for everybody else.
I feel bad for everybody else.
Like the Palm
you went
Desert.
so you went to La Quinta.
Yeah, I just feel bad, you know. I support the whole valley. I don't want people to think I just support La Quinta, you know. But you're out there. Where are you at right now?
I'm in Long Beach. I'm back in Long Beach. Yeah.
Yeah. So what got you into your baking and cooking? I don't know, passion.
All right.
What started?
I feel like first we need to do.
You want to start the brunch?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was ready for that. I didn't know when you want to start
Oh
it.
no, yeah.
I didn't know if you wanted to just start going off on the podcast. Because.
There you go.
Oh my god. Let's go.
I'm gonna make you pop bottles though. I hope you know.
You're gonna make me pop them?
Yeah.
I don't even know how to pop a bottle.
No, yes you do. That's such a lie.
I'm not lying, honestly.
You have no. Here, do you want me to take it off for you? I can do that.
Yeah, I think I could do this. I'm on my own podcast. I gotta act cool right here.
Yeah.
I do this shit all the time.
Alright, so these are two. Also, you don't have to eat them right now, but you might have to do like a Guy Fieri. Have you ever watched Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives?
Yes, I have seen
that.
that.
When it's like he like tries the food.
Where's the twisty? Isn't there? Oh, right here.
Yeah,
I got you. Okay.
So I'm gonna give you these things, and you have, like eventually in the podcast you have to try them, and even if you don't like them,
say how bomb, how flame they are.
Righteous, Flavor Town, and then you can tell me how you really feel after.
All right, I'm with that.
All right,
yeah.
perfect.
Is this thing gonna pop? Oh!
There we go.
I guess I do know how. Let's get yours.
And then
you said you don't like orange juice though, so you just want all champagne?
Yeah, it's like I'm always order like mimosa without orange juice. It's just
a mimosa without
and everyone
orange
always gives
juice.
me that like, isn't that just champagne? I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't sound as brunchy. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want orange juice?
I don't know. No, I'll rock it like you.
All right.
I'll go no orange juice.
Eating good Schmidt style, no orange juice.
Eating good Schmidt style. Do you like to like?
Well, cheers.
Cheers to the episode 59. Eating like Miss Sam Schmidt over here. So do you when you're baking and stuff? Do you always have like a certain like? Are you like those people that like a certain alcohol or like red wine or something tastes well with a certain food? Like, have you ever done that type of research?
I would love to say that that's where I'm at in my life, but no.
That's too much, huh?
Pinot Grigio is like my water. Like, I really like the best wine ever. But like, I'm not pairing things. I also don't like really make things that are like, this lamb chop would go with this, and more like the Pop-Tart scheme of things.
The Pop-Tart, yeah.
And Pinot Grigio definitely goes with Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tart, this goes good with milk.
Yeah.
2%.
Yeah, so not yet. I'll get there. But right now we're sticking to Pop-Tarts and...
What's your favorite thing to bake right now?
Ooh.
Or cook or whatever in general.
What's my favorite thing to... Honestly, so the Pop-Tarts thing is the very new thing. I did like this 5 days of Pop-Tarts thing.
I saw that. That was crazy.
I just really got into like all the different flavors of it, but they are such a pain to make, so I don't really love those. What's my favorite thing to make? Honestly, I'm such a phases person. Like, it just depends.
What you're feeling like at that moment.
Yeah, I do make a lot of like sweet things because I like making like healthier versions of sweet things. But I mean, yeah, I don't really make that much like meat and things like that. So I really try to do like donuts and healthy Twix bars and just like random things. So people are like, "What in the world is she doing?"
I don't know. I've been looking at your Instagram though, and all that food looks good. That's why you told me if there's anything I'd like. I was like, I'll eat anything on your profile.
So these two, I was like struggling because I'm like, all right, I'm going with mimosa theme. So these two actually haven't been featured on Eating Good Schmidt yet.
Really?
Yeah, it's a limited release before So you're gonna try them and you're gonna tell me. So if they taste terrible, I'm not gonna post them.
Okay.
These are like a coffee cake, cheesecake type of bites, but they're like, I use like monk fruit sweetener with them, and like,
yeah, you know I'm gonna eat.
There's like no refined sugar and just being super extra.
Those look good. I thought you were handing me a big thing of weed for a minute. I got excited. I'm just kidding.
That would have been better, but no. These are like, so I use like cornflakes. You can call them cookies. You can call it granola. You'll have to let me know. But they're 2 different flavors too.
And these are, is your whole point in like your cooking is it just like healthier versions of like I don't know, like this is just like a healthier chip or a healthier cookie, and then what about this is just a healthier like muffin, or is it just you're just mixing shit up and just figuring it out as you're going?
I'm gonna be honest, these aren't that healthy. Like, that's usually what my like point of view has been with the account, is like making like healthier versions of things with like almond flour and things like that. But now I'm just like, eat the donut if you want to eat the donut. Like almond flour donuts don't taste good. Like, I'm at that point where I'm like, sometimes just eat like make it good and like move on and then eat kale later. Like, that's my my motto with things. But I do use like monk fruit sweetener a lot, so like these don't have sugar in them. These technically don't have real sugar in them. So in a way they are healthier, but they're like
still sweet, still like
they're sweets. Like, if you want to say like what's healthier, this or like spinach. I mean,
you're gonna go with spinach probably.
Spinach, but what's gonna make you happier?
Exactly. Yeah, you gotta have a healthy balance, and I'm sure you're figuring that out as because I don't know how you even have time for this shit, because you're a college teacher.
So I'm teaching weather and climate at Cal State Long Beach right now. Well, online.
What got you into that? Weather and climate. What got you into that?
You know, it's strange. Weather and climate's like not my specialty per se. I like it and like I can teach it. I got my undergrad at Cal State Long Beach in geography, but I'm like a human cultural geographer. But
what does that mean? Human cultural geographer.
So like with geography, it's a huge like spectrum of things. You can go like computer mapping. That's not me. Yeah. Environmental. I dabble. That's where the weather and climate comes in, and then human and cultural is like I did my research on like fair trade in Latin America, and like Latin American and Caribbean studies is like what I would do.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah. So I like the more like talking to people type of research.
Because I think I saw you. Were you teaching in Washington?
Virgin Islands is where.
Virgin Islands.
Yeah. So it's like a lot of people don't know where the Virgin Islands is. It's like here's Florida.
I have no idea where it is.
Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands.
Really?
Yeah.
How was that living over there and teaching?
I loved it. It was the best thing ever. So I was a high school teacher there, and I was teaching world history for a year and a half, and it was so much fun. What
was the biggest change coming from the valley to? Because that trips me out that you were teaching all the way over there, and you at our age, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're fucking, how old are you right now?
I'm 24.
Yeah, 24, and okay, that was what, a year ago or 2 years ago?
I started teaching when I was 22, yeah.
Jeez, so how was that, being so young and having so much, like, responsibility? I feel like that's responsibility for me, at least, because that's, like, you're guiding these children, and you're just outside of that age.
It's like, I'm trying to think, there's, like, so many, like, it's more of, like, there's a culture aspect of it, because in the Caribbean they speak English, but like you wouldn't know that. The accents are so thick and like the slang is so different. So I walked in and I was like, I don't know what any of them are saying. So that was a big part of it. But in the Virgin Islands, the school system is way different. You can stay in high school until you're 21 there. So I was teaching seniors who were 20 and I was 22, and so they were like, what's going on here? Like, so there's like a little bit of like there was struggles with certain like authority things that I had, because I was like, at the same time, like, I don't know how to be a teacher. Like, I just kind of winged it initially. Yeah. But then, I mean, the kids, like, I don't even know if I would want to teach high school here, because the kids in the Virgin Islands are, like, so amazing. Like, every single student, no matter, like, if they hated me, if they were having a bad day, it didn't matter. Every student would walk into my classroom and be like, good morning, Miss Schmidt. Good morning, Miss Schmidt. Or even, like, good morning, Miss Schmidt. Because they're all, like, hormonal and whatever. Like, I had a girl who literally walked into my class, sat down, didn't say anything, ran out and came back and was like, I'm so sorry, good morning. Like,
really?
Yeah.
Wow, just so polite and
so respectful, so polite, yeah.
That must have been an eye-opening experience for you, just seeing how differently people act, you know? Like, seeing that people, how nice they were compared to out here, even right here in the valley or whatever. Kids are just so, like, I don't know, we're just given everything. We have too much.
Oh, I can just picture myself walking into, like, Miss Patak's class in senior year and just be like,
yeah, I just...
don't like you. What's up?
I know how I was my senior year.
I was the worst.
I was a dick. Yeah, I was terrible.
Like, I was there from, 8 to 12, and I was just like, forget all you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Weight room, my last, 2 periods. My, 4th period, I was, TA. I was, sleeping in the back of class.
Oh, I was the worst.
Yeah.
I don't know why seniors go to school, looking to,
what's the point, right?
I feel like we're all just TAs, job, whatever, off campus.
Do you, was high school, when you're teaching those kids in high school, was it the same, curriculum kind of as out here? Or is it? I just feel like we should, I don't know how you feel about this, but I feel like high school kids should be taught more about real life skills, not just English and math and, you know, like some more like stuff that's actually going to help them. Like when you get the half a semester of government and then econ. That shit should be like 4 years. You should be learning that shit for a while. How do you feel about the curriculum?
So curriculum as far as like here versus the Virgin Islands, I mean every teacher is different. We all get handed different teachers. I think at La Quinta there's a lot of really important classes that are taught by people who are just kind of like not really in it to like provide life skills. Like econ's a super huge thing, but if you didn't have a good teacher, like that's a big
exactly.
Like, if someone's just running you through a textbook, it's not going to help you. In any case, in college and in any kind of schooling system. But with the Virgin Islands, it's like such a strong island culture where it is a super diverse place. There's like I had students from Haiti, Dominican Republic, all over the place. I had a few students from China. Like it was just a really diverse place, but it's still really close knit. So with world history, for me, I felt like because I had, you know, like high schoolers, like we don't even need this. We're not gonna need it. Don't get me wrong. French Revolution, ridiculous. Like why? Like why?
I don't even remember anything about that. But
yeah. So, but it's like you can teach certain like big concept things through like the curriculum, like nationalism. Like we see so much nationalism with like our administration right now, and so you can teach that through the French Revolution. So it's like, while yes, the bigger picture of certain classes is like. Need it. I always try to like do bigger picture things.
You're trying to give them those concepts that they need through those classes.
And like being like cultural like relativism, like being aware of other cultures too. Like I wish it wasn't so Europe focused. Like I love talking about Asia and Latin America and those places, but everything's different. Yeah,
that's just where we live, I guess. You know, because we're in that section.
I feel like because I like teaching world history. I always thought about world cultures with Mr. Hepner in 10th grade, and I was always like thinking like, what was he doing? Like what? And
he was one of the best teachers, honestly.
Yes, for guys, because do you remember why?
Yeah, I don't know. He's just aggressive.
Always referring his lessons to Call of Duty. Always like giving you guys like, oh, this battle here was in this part of Call of Duty, and I was like, so. I loved him as a teacher.
I don't even remember that. I don't remember even him referring to Call of Duty. I just remember his like. I just feel like he went more in depth. It wasn't just like the textbook. It was like the textbook, and then he went and did his own research, and then he gave you like the full truth, you know. But yeah, I can see why that. I don't even remember that.
No,
that's probably
I love that
about
him. Even though like I obviously didn't play Call of Duty, I would sit there and be like,
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, but I love that he did it because he gave like high school kids something to like connect certain things to. Where, like, in my class it'd be like, okay, let's take our presidency and like put it towards like French Revolution, where they like actually could like understand what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know? So yes, I agree with you. Long story short, I agree that like certain things are like, alright, like, do they really need to know about Mesopotamia? Not exactly, but it's like bigger picture things if the teacher knows how to go about it.
You gotta try to give them the full picture.
And let me tell you, the first semester I did not know how to go about it, but it's just like a learning curve.
Yeah.
You know?
That's how... What was your first day like as a teacher? Do you remember?
Brutal, one of the worst days of my life.
What happened?
I literally came home crying because I was living with my grandma at the time. And I was like, I'm going to quit. There's no way. I was like, this is terrible.
Really?
I was like, they hate me. Because I was like, I mean, I don't know how much you know about the Caribbean. I don't look very similar to a lot. I look very, like, it was the most, like, not like I blend. How to explain this in, like, the right way? I did not blend in. So I was very, like, people were looking, even my coworkers, everyone's like,
who is this lady?
What is she doing? Like, I was young, and I was like, and so I walked in, and my students were like, you're lost. Like, what's up? And I was like, no, I'm not. I'm here on purpose. Like, it was hard, and there's so much, like, behavior stuff as, like, a high school teacher that I was teaching seniors, you know?
Yeah, like, exactly. They're about on the edge of being grown men and grown women.
I had students, oh my gosh. I was having, like, teacher nightmares at night. Like, I had this student who was like, oh my gosh. I remember my first day, he was like, Miss Schmidt, I gotta go. My daughter's, like, I gotta pick her up from school. I'm like, oh, okay, like, didn't they have, cool, alright, that's fine. And my mom, like, okay. Doesn't have a daughter. Found out, like, at the end of the semester. Like, this guy, for months, was leaving my class, didn't have children, just would just leave. I was so naive, actually, like, I'm like, oh, that's fine, just go ahead.
You must have a daughter, go.
I'm like, oh my gosh, he's in high school going to school and he has children, like, good. I'm your supporter. Let's go do it. No, he was lying to me the whole time. was like, dang it.
That's
I was like,
how...
I'm smarter now.
Yeah.
Now I don't let it happen.
I bet. That's what's so crazy, right? When you get out of high school or whatever, or even college, and then you get thrown into the real world, and then you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah. What was, like, your first, like, oh, my God, like, help me?
I don't know. I really don't know what my first oh my God was. I think it was really just me going from being a jock in high school and thinking everybody knew me and like I like ran the world, to as soon as I went to college I realized nobody gave a fuck. You know, like zero.
Everything, you thought you were all these things in high school and then it's like, no. That was a big reality check for me. Not because I was like running the streets at school, but like I moved to Santa Barbara my first year of college, and I was like, oh my God, I am so insignificant. Yeah. Which is a great thing to realize super young, but like, it's like, oh my God, you have to make yourself.
You gotta remake yourself again.
Yeah,
you know?
1000%. Which is a great thing if you could think about it like that, but when I was 18, I was not thinking about it.
Yeah, and I did the opposite, you know, like I went into college, I like, instead of like, continually like bettering myself, I just kind of went the wrong way. Like, I got good grades, I passed, I got an associate's degree, but I just smoked a lot of weed every day, got out of shape, and so I just took a lot of time to like realize like, bro, you gotta just, it's on you, you know, you can't just wait for something to land in your lap, you know, and it's definitely hard, especially being an athlete or even being like popular or whatever in high school. Like, you gotta realize that shit doesn't matter at all. That matters 0%. You gotta focus on being a, you know, like, the next step. You gotta focus on when you get to college and past that. Like,
or you can just go to college and wear your Blackhawks jersey and see how it goes.
That's not gonna go well.
Could you imagine?
I'm a football player, I swear.
Look at me. I was really popular in high school.
Wear your Letterman's jacket and shit. Like, I haven't even put my Letterman's jacket on since I got it. I
did swim, so swim was never very like, oh my God, like so hot. She just swam, so I'd just be like, wear my swim cap around or something.
Wear my swim cap.
Guys, I did swim.
I'm a swimmer, I swear, on Fridays or whatever. On your game day, you wear a swim cap.
I know, oh my gosh. Yeah, but it's good. I mean, at least like, there are certain people that like very like, I really would like to think that high school is not my prime. I'd like to think I'm on my way there, but...
Fuck, man. I like to think that too.
But junior year, I was crushing.
I was crushing junior year. I was living life.
I was doing really well junior year of high school.
Fuck, that shit's crazy. Yeah, right, like... That's crazy, man. That's what people gotta realize, though, too. You gotta enjoy those times, you know? Don't think high school's hard, you know? Like, school, everybody should be acing school. In high school...
Oh, yeah.
Every single person, even if you're partying, you should be playing sports, you should be doing extra shit, because life is so easy in high school, you know, like, get all that extra out, get all that extra stuff, and have fun, and stay focused on the prize, though, because a lot of people forget, like, high school is just a little piece of it, you know, they don't... If
you would have told me that in high school, I'd been like, okay, cool.
I know.
See ya, because there was no, like, to me, I was just like, I'll go to college. I never, like, took SATs or anything like that, I was just like,
whatever. I know. I was the same way, man. I remember in middle school, I had a baseball coach. My pitching coach was like, "Hey, my son made the same mistake. Don't get a girlfriend. Stay focused on sports. You know, keep your eye on the prize." I did the complete opposite. Got a girlfriend. Stayed partying. Stayed smoking weed. You know, and it was like, it's hard to listen to adults. You know, you don't want to listen to you know it all as a high schooler.
Yeah, it is true. It's interesting though, having been like a teacher now at this point, where like, I think when you're younger, and it's almost like I'm like, oh, I don't want to get older because I want to be like a young high school teacher forever, because they listen to you so much more. Where they're like, oh, okay, Miss Schmidt's not that old. She's pretty fresh out of it. Like,
she knows what I'm talking about.
There is some sort of like, you have more influence than if you're like a little bit staler. And I don't know. I'm hoping that like at least I have my 30s to stay a little relevant to them. But yeah. But 25's coming in hot, Troy. I don't know. 25, you're still a youngin'. 25. Oh, don't even get me started.
I'm 25. I got 2 kids, so you gotta add like 5 years for each kid. I'm like 35.
I won't even get started until you already have 2 kids. For women, I'm like, my fertility is down the hole. I have to really start working on it.
I don't know. Don't do it. Don't do it. Unless you really want a kid.
You know, I'm on my way. I'm making amends with my age now. 25, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
You're still young. What are you talking about? 25. You're 25 and you're already like, you're doing the teaching. You got your eating good with Sam Schmidt. Like, you're killing the game. What are you
Thank you. Yeah.
Eating well?
Could you imagine, though, how, like, if Eating Good Schmidt hasn't blown up from the pop charts, imagine if I had a cute little baby next to it? Worldwide. International.
Yeah, but that cute little baby stays around 24/7.
Yeah.
And then you gotta figure out who's the dad.
Yeah, trust me. I've been trying to figure that one out for a while.
That's trouble, yeah, that's the problem.
So I'm like, ooh, you know. So I just stay drinking.
I need to pour another one for that one.
I just stay drinking mimosas till then.
I gotta keep drinking, yeah.
Yeah, I'll get there. But
What would you tell yourself? Like,
yeah, sure, why not?
What would you tell yourself, your younger self in high school? What would you pass along to you?
Ooh. Oh, that's a good one.
This is probably my favorite podcast so far, just because we got
just strictly mimosas
yeah,
and fertility.
Yeah, not that part. I don't want to talk about the kids, but we'll keep it going.
What was my question? What would I tell myself in high school?
Yeah, what piece of advice would you pass yourself? Your younger self.
Ooh.
No,
probably along those same lines. Honestly, I think like quarantine the past 6 months has really given me like piece of like don't stick to a timeline. I think as like especially like I think a lot of people do, but as like a woman, I'm like okay, I have this by this. I need to be married by 27 and have this by kids by this, and it's like.
Do women really? It's really like that.
That's probably one of the things I like struggled with the most is like in my mind I'm like okay so. Like when I was younger, like I had like a really serious boyfriend, so I was like, okay, cool, husband, check, lovely, keep that to the side. We'll get married in a few years. Like it's like almost like it was out of sight, out of mind. And like since we broke up, I was like, ooh, okay, gotta find another one. It's like which is like such a like unhealthy thing to think.
Yeah.
So now like even though I'm joking about my fertility, like I really am like it's the first time I'm like it's okay. Like I'm chilling, good. I'm like super busy. I don't even have time. Like,
yeah, that's
I don't have time to think about it. But, like, in high school, I think I was very, like, in my mind, like, always constantly working with that. Like, okay, I need to get my degree by this, I need to do this by this, this by this, I need to be a rock star by this, or, like, I don't know.
Be a millionaire and all
that. Like, world famous.
I need to have 3 houses, and I felt the same way, same thing.
Like, that's my biggest issue. Like, honestly, it's been, like, the past 6 months where I'm, like, finally over that.
Yeah, I feel the same way kind of with the whole girlfriend thing because I was fucking married and everything. I was like 10 years and that was a wake up call realizing like once it's over like having to be with yourself. You know, like you gotta
huge.
Like oh shit, I gotta figure out who I am, you know?
Yeah. And for me it's like I've been single for a long time now. I don't know.
A long time now.
Like 3 years now. Like it's like my mind was always like, okay, on to the next, on the next. And it's like literally chill out. Like, you have so much going on.
Enjoy you for a little bit.
Yeah, and, like, I feel so much better, like, now that I'm just, like, not constantly worried about. Also, I have a puppy now, so I don't have time. I am a mom.
Is that a puppy? Because that looks like a big dog you got.
Well, now he's big. He's 5 months now, but he was a puppy. So I actually am a mom. I don't know what I'm talking about.
You're a dog mom?
Everything I've said back.
You are not a real mom.
I'm
not
5
gonna
months
let you.
Postpartum. So.
5 months postpartum. Oh man.
But yeah, that's probably what I would. What would you say?
That my thing I'd pass along is probably just stay focused on the like the important on the things like sports. Stay focused on sports. Stay focused on school. Just stay focused.
Sports for career, sports for just like mental health.
It's just mental, like so I wouldn't lose myself. Just stay focused on like bettering myself and like continually like improving. Because for a while there, I was very. People get caught in being comfortable, you know? Like, they're scared of being uncomfortable. It's like...
Yeah.
You don't want to be comfortable, you know? That's very... Just, you're, like, complacent. I don't want to be complacent, you know? And that was the issue with me, is I started getting fine with just being comfortable where I was at. Like, oh, I have an apartment, and that I work. Like, that's not good, though, you know?
Yeah.
You want to continue to keep, like, upgrading, continue to level up. Like, there's Joe Rogan, he had a podcast with Kevin Hart, and Kevin Hart's like, dude, this... He's like, it's not like a game, like, where it's just, like, you know, fun and games, but he's like, life's like a game, like, you get into certain levels, and you gotta figure out a way to get out of that level and move on up, or you can go, just be stuck in that level, or you can just go down, you know, and that's kind of how I feel about life. You gotta always be upgrading, and that's something I wish I would have passed on to myself, like, just don't focus on the girlfriend, don't focus on partying, don't focus on, you know, being cool, just focus on, like, what you know is right for you, you know, and a lot of people don't. A lot of people just kind of focus on how they look for other people, and I think that's a big problem, especially now with social media and shit. Everybody is like how do I look for everybody, for the whole crowd, instead of like, how do you feel on the inside? What do you want to do? What makes you happy, you know?
Yeah, no, I really like the way you said the comfortable thing, because that's like another thing. Like, I think especially when you are a person who puts yourself in uncomfortable situations a lot, you see how like much stronger it makes you as a person.
Yes. Yeah.
Like oh my gosh, like I think I unintentionally put myself in uncomfortable positions where I'm like, oh, shouldn't have done that.
It's kind of sketchy. Yeah.
Whether it's like new jobs or like moving across the country or like, oh my god, like in dating, I'm like, I'm like, oh, it's a bad idea. I'm like,
see what happens.
I'm like, oh, they seem nice. Ooh.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh. But those kind of situations make you so much stronger in like any realm of things. You're like more willing to be like, it's almost like you're more willing to just be open to anything. Like when you're like, yeah, it's cool, it'll be uncomfortable, but it's fine. I have people in my life where you really have to just like push them out the door, and like I don't know. I think the more you're like able to make yourself uncomfortable, the more comfortable you'll be. Just like in everything.
Anywhere. Yeah, exactly. And I feel the same way. And you got to kind of watch out for those people, the ones that you got to push out the door, because they bring you down. You know, like I can't continue to bring your energy up. You know, like I gotta focus on me, and like you said, you just gotta be uncomfortable. You know, I've learned, even like with this podcast, like I've been uncomfortable so many times in this podcast. I've had so many awkward moments that just. It doesn't even, like, I don't have a problem talking in front of anybody now. It's like, dude, I've done it. I've talked to everybody, and it's like, it is what it is.
And with this podcast, too, like, not only are you responsible for, like, you not having awkward moments, but, like, so it's like, if I froze up, it would be, like, on you to, like, keep it going. Or keep, like, you know, like, so not only, like, you're responsible for, like, that, you are able to make other people more comfortable, too.
Yeah, and, well, I gotta tell you that you gotta be super strong going to, where we at?
St. Thomas, Virgin Islands.
Virgin Islands. Going to the Virgin Islands and teaching at 22, that is some crazy shit. I would never do that. I still have a problem with, like, public speaking. Like, it scares me.
I think you'd be surprised. After all this, I think you'd be surprised how much you, like, if you knew what you were talking about, you just kind of, like...
Just let it go.
And it's not like I'm this, like, formal person. Like, it still is just, like, all over the place. So I'm teaching, too. But... I don't know. If you're able to, like, sound like you know what you're talking about, people will believe it, whether it's true or not.
Are you looking forward to to teaching in college?
So I'm. This is my third week teaching now, and it's just everything online. It's hard. I'm in grad school now and teaching online, so it's like I see both sides of it. I see like being a part of the class, I also see teaching it, and like I always said that like I wanted to teach college because I wouldn't have to deal with like the behavior problems, because there's nothing more annoying than like
kids just acting stupid.
Take your AirPods out. Take your Apple Watch off. Put your phone away. Like, that is, like, is really stressful to me. Especially because, like, when I went to the Virgin Islands, I had no idea. Like, I have an Apple Watch now. I didn't know anything about them, really. I didn't know you could have pictures on your Apple Watch, like, at all.
Yeah, you can have everything, like, on there, basically.
Yeah, I just got so distracted about I was thinking about some kid cheating on his, like go like this, and I was like,
you motherfucker.
And I was like, stop! Like, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, so, what about college? Do you even worry about that stuff? Do they not?
So now, also it's online.
You can't even tell,
But even if it was, so my idea of, like, teaching college was, like, if they're on their phones, I don't care, they're paying for it. Like, they're paying to, like, be a part of this class, and, like, like, if they don't come, like, that's on net. Like, in my mind, I'm like, I want to talk about, and I love geography, like, I was like, I want to talk about what I like talking about.
What got you into geography?
OCC, random GE class I was taking a physical geography class, and I walked in, it was, like, first day, my professor was Irene Nessa, like, it was literally just, first day, she was like, if you're a person who changes your major every day, if you're the person who, like, loves everything a little bit, like, if you're someone who's just, like, interested in a lot of different things, like, and then she just kind of kept explaining it, I'm just, like, googly eyes at this person, like, this is me,
wow.
Like, yeah, and, like, I called my mom that day, I'm like, I'm changing my major to geography, and I just, like, went balls to the wall.
Full into it,
like, yeah, I'm obsessed with it. I think it's so cool.
I've become kind of an advocate for college for that reason, because there's so many cool professors. I've realized, like, you get out of high school and then you go and you're like, oh, this is what I should be learning, you know? Like, these people really care about what they're talking. Some do. Obviously, some don't. You have some that suck, but like, the ones that do care, there's a lot more in college. From what I saw when I was in just community college. I had, same shit, I had a lady, and she did, I think it was world history or U.S. history or something like that. And she even warned us. She's like, I'm running this shit like a university class. She's like, so if you think you're just going to get away with just barely coming to class and not doing your homework and stuff like that, she's like, find another class. And she ran that shit like university class. Like every test was like you had to write like a full-on report, and like they were all timed, and like that was one of my favorite classes. And I did the most work in that class just because the way she taught. She taught like she fully cared about her subject, and that was my problem in high school. Like I aced all my classes, and I aced them without even caring, without even like opening a book, you know, because there's just nothing there for you. There's no like, people don't expand. People are just trying to get the paycheck, and you don't realize that in high school, but when you get out and you're an adult, you're like, oh, it's a job, you know. People are just trying to get paid and get done.
That notion itself is what like not frustrating me the most, but yeah, like frustrating me because like so in the Virgins here in California, to be a teacher, like a public school teacher, you have to do like a year and a half of credential work after your bachelor's, which is, it's a lot of work. But in the Virgin Islands, you don't. So you do find it, we think that about teachers here, but like in the Virgin Islands, there's teachers who are like just working at like the grocery store or things like that, but they have their degree, so they come and teach. And like, don't get me wrong, I was the same way. Like I didn't have a teaching credential. I learned how to teach through teaching, and like, that's not necessarily, I don't think that's necessarily how it should be. So with my students there, they would always be like, everyone's just trying to get a paycheck. Like, when I'm paying for my students, I would be like, are you serious? As I'm wearing like a leprechaun hat, like,
do you think I want a paycheck?
Trying to teach them about Ireland. I'm like, are you joking? I was like, I love being here. Like, why would you say that? Like, but so, and like that's what like I want to continue teaching because I want people to know like some teachers genuinely really love being there. Like,
but you have a good person to look at. Your dad.
My whole family's. My mom's a teacher. My dad's like my whole family's.
Your dad was one of my favorite teachers.
You had my dad? Yeah.
Yes.
What did you have him for PSA or like what did you have him for?
I had him for. Didn't he teach a science class?
He used to teach science. Yeah. Like biology or.
Yeah, I had him for biology, I believe, and he was one of my favorite teachers. Just the way he taught, like the same thing. It was in high school, but it was a high school teacher that actually cared about his subject. You know, like Hebner. Hebner cared about his subject. And those guys, I flock to them because I'm interested. I'm one of those. I'm my only kid, you know. So like I got raised where I got to figure out shit by myself. You know, you got to like listen to people, and so I'm interested in learning about everything. I'm always curious, but some people were just killing it. You know, some of those high school teachers suck.
Yeah, my dad's definitely like, as far as my dad's teaching style, like if you remember, like it's very similar to mine, where it's like very jokey, like the banter back and forth, but like also it's very like, all right, let's get some like shit done.
We gotta get serious right here. Yeah.
My dad's definitely like, when it comes to teaching, I always am like, what am I not doing? Like he, and like honestly, so my dad's like head of PSA now, like he does like the Public Service Academy. My dad has no background in it, but he's just so stoked about being with high schoolers and like working with them. Like he's such a good teacher.
Exactly. You can tell that's something he's like passionate about. He just enjoys the kids, you know.
And like it's amazing how much he doesn't realize how much he loves it because it's an exhausting job. But like even now, the dude's like, oh my god, he's grown a mullet. Like,
really?
He has like a handle. He's like, oh, I just want them like to see me on my webcam with my mullet, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like my dad like needs attention from students. It's amazing how much attention you get every day as a teacher and you don't realize it. Like, it's like, wait, what? All my friends.
He was so cool.
So I'm the same way. Like, we're so similar in that way.
I remember when he, like, his new Chico would live with me.
Yeah.
Chico learned that's right. He would tell Chico, like, dude, study with Troy. Like, ask Troy for the answers. Like, he's like, Troy's acing all the tests. You suck. And he would tell him, like, and I would laugh, dude, because he'd be like, dude, study, bro. Troy, you live with Troy. Like, go ask him, you know.
There's been so many times in my classroom I'm like, oh no, I am my dad. I was like, oh.
I am my dad.
I was like, like there's like these two kids that were talking, and I was like, stood and I was like, are you kidding me? And I was like, oh.
I gotta chill.
Oh, Kevin's coming out.
My god.
No, but yeah, and I loved it. Like it was. I mean, I was mortified when my dad took that job because my dad took the job looking to my 8th grade year. And I was like,
oh, he did?
I was like, my life is over.
Really?
I was like,
right when you're going into high school.
I literally was like, didn't want to. I was like, you ruined everything.
Fuck you, Dad.
I was like, no boys are ever gonna want to talk to me. And I like, but I'm like so lucky that like people liked my dad, even though like he could be like hardcore. Like people did like him, and we also live in the desert, so air conditioned classroom during lunch.
Yeah, it's cool just because he looks like an alpha too, you know? He's like big and buff kind of.
Like
and
linebackers
he's like, you know, all the football players are like, hell yeah, this is our teacher, yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
funny. Yeah, he's a good one. He really is.
What was your favorite place to live so far? Since you went to college and you've been to a couple different places, what's been like your favorite time, I guess?
I love the Virgin Islands. Is unlike anything that you've ever been to. Like,
yeah.
I mean, if you haven't been to like the parts of the Caribbean or like the Virgin Islands, like
Never.
I say to everyone, you have to go. Not necessarily now, but it's unlike anything I've ever seen, and it's a U.S. territory. Like, you would never think that it's under like jurisdiction of the United States because it's so different. And
yeah, how does that work? That it's a U.S. territory. Like, how do and they don't you can't vote or anything in there, really? Can you?
You can't vote, but there's 16 U.S. territories. They're like all of there's like American Samoa, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands. There's a bunch of different ones that are like a part of the U.S. But they have their own governor. So it's like in a lot of like I didn't pay it's like you don't pay federal taxes. You pay Virgin Islands taxes. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
But basically, I mean, Trump is still the U.S. Virgin Islands president. Like it's still part of the U.S. And then like there's 2 major hurricanes there in 2017. Like the United States were like supposed to give them relief money, like with FEMA and everything. So it's definitely still part of like the United States, the same way Puerto Rico is.
Yeah, it's just like a territory.
You would never know. I mean, like, like culturally and just like everything, it's oh my gosh, it's amazing.
But how was it living over there? Like, what was it? What is it? Is it any more like dangerous or anything, or is it just like another? You're living in just a different state, basically. I know the culture is different, so I'm sure like it looks different and people act different, and it's maybe I feel like it's got to be more like community oriented, like everybody knows each other and kind of are people more like in communication with each other?
Yeah, it's
compared to here.
I mean, any island, honestly, like so I grew up between the desert and Catalina, like have family in Catalina Island off of Long Beach. There's so many similarities between Catalina and the Virgin Islands. Just like island culture is very similar.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's tight knit and like it's very like isolated in its own way.
Yeah.
But St. Thomas is so much bigger. There's 50,000 people who live there year round, around 50,000. It's just different. I mean, the weather is way different. It's tropical, so it's like really.
It's a little wild, or what?
We're used to dry heat. There, it's just like 100% humidity. So I'm like out of the Amazon rainforest hair all the time.
Yeah.
So that part
all
of it,
frizzy and shit.
I went through like Hurricane Dorian last August actually. So there's like hurricanes there.
How was that?
I was at my grandma's house and she has this like really open house, so you have to like hammer down these doors. It's like an emotional, like exhilarating process.
Whoa! So you were literally like locking the house down?
Oh yeah.
You were fucking locking that
for like 6 hours, and it's like just me, my grandma, the dogs in this like claustrophobic space, and you just kind of like just wait it out. It's something like so unlike you would like. I mean, we have earthquakes here like every once in a while.
Yeah. But not right here where we're at. Not in the desert. You don't even see shit here. Earthquakes are so. When people are afraid of an earthquake, I'm like, bro, really?
Oh, and it like rains all the time. It rains for like 5 or 10 minutes in the Virgin Islands, like probably once a day, and like. Here in the desert, where we grew up, when it rains, not doing anything for the day. That's it. Exactly. It only happens twice a year, so calling it. So,
it's raining today.
My mindset in the Virgin Islands would be like, oh well, like that's it. But like, no, it
everybody
happens all the
keeps
time.
moving.
It happens all the time. But yeah, so Hurricane Dorian was only a Cat 1, so like wasn't like it was only like we clocked in at like 110 mile an hour winds.
That's still fucking crazy.
It sounds like a train, like a almost like a train rolling through. It's a really strange thing. But
so when you're underground, right? Or like you're like in your little spot or whatever.
We had like hurricane shutters, so we're in the house, but it's like bolted down.
So underground's tornadoes. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh yeah.
But
like trees were falling over. We walked outside and I was like, oh my god,
So you could tell when it passed though? Could you tell when it like got by you guys, or were you guys just waiting it out for a couple hours? You're like, I think we're good now.
Well, so we thought, and because I was like super eager because I wanted to see outside, and like my grandma lives on the bay, so I could see the ocean. I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. And so I go outside.
You're so wild.
I go outside and I go like through the window because I want to like see, and it's like okay, I'm like, oh, I think it's passed. So I like grabbed a lawn chair and I was like sitting down like watching it all because it was like you could still like see like swirling in the water, and I was like, interesting. All of a sudden my chair starts like it started getting really windy, and I lift it and I like stand up and my chair starts like blowing where I have like literally my chair in the air. I'm like, Grandma, we gotta go.
It's not done, Grandma. It's not done. Oh, shit.
Like, so, yes and no. Like, a little bit of both.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I would say the Virgin Islands because it kept me on my toes, for sure. I was never comfortable there, ever. Yeah. Which is a great thing. I loved that.
Yeah. And then now you get down here and you're like, oh, shit, you know.
And now I'm just chilling.
Too easy.
With my
dog. With my mimosa without
I drink mimosas way more often now. Just chill with my dog, go to grad school.
There you go.
That's about it. Yeah.
What's your goal with that? Are you gonna continue to teach, or do you have I don't know, is teaching like your goal? Is that your career goal?
I think so. I mean, I definitely ideally, again, this really is controversial to what I said earlier, but I was like, in my head, I was like, ooh, could be a really cool soccer mom teaching like geography at nights at a university. With like crossover Subaru.
You need a kid.
And,
that's what you're telling me.
Like a Patagonia vest, and I'm just chilling.
Oh my god!
I'm at my AYS.
Whoever is her next boyfriend,
don't watch this podcast.
Watch out! You're having a kid with her. Just be careful. Be careful.
No, don't worry. It's fine. I'm very picky.
I'm very picky
now, but
yeah, sure, I bet. After you have all that uncomfortable shit, and after you do so much by yourself, shit, you can't just settle, you know? You have to make sure you got a guy that can handle, you know?
Yeah, it's just more so like...
More grind.
Yeah.
You can't have a guy just chilling at home, you know? You gotta grind, bro.
Yeah,
I'm grinding myself.
There's so many, like, aspects to it, too. There's, like, it's amazing the things, like, when I was 20 versus I'm like, this is what I want my husband to look like. And now I'm like, oh my god, that is... So
Fuck
not it
guy.
at all. Like, that is so not it. Like,
yeah, hell yeah.
I think, the more you, like, and that's just, like, with getting older, too. Like, I'm sure you know that you're like, oh, like, these things are actually important to me.
Yeah,
like,
when I was young, it was, like, titties and ass. That was all I cared about. Now I'm like, alright.
Now for me, it's, for men, it's all about titties and ass. I can't even say the word. It's, like, a really hard word for me to say.
You didn't want to say that, huh? You're like, I'm a teacher. I can't say this.
I ever actually said that word out loud. It's a terrible word. It's just like, not even because it's like inappropriate. It's just like doesn't roll off the tongue.
Yeah, you're in the 100 podcast. I'm sorry.
It's just like, I just feel like boobs sound so much better than like.
So, this is a question. I'm gonna ask you. So, if a guy asks, "Can I have a picture of your boobs?" You'd like that better than can I have a picture of your tits?
I would like. Honestly...
What sounds worse? What makes a guy sound like a creep? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, like, because I'm just like, let me see it.
Do they both sound like a creep? Like, how do you even... you can't even ask for pictures.
Ooh, how do I say this without sounding like really bad?
Without sounding really bad.
If someone's, like, so straight... Like mind you, let's assume I know them. Like, it's not, like, a random person that's, like...
Yeah, not just a dude
Let's
who's
just say it's, like, a guy, so it's, like, whatever. Guy MC, whatever. Honestly, whatever. Just... It's just, like, oh... Hey, Sam, how are you? Can you send me a photo of your boobs?
Okay, that's
like, honestly, that's, you shoot your shot so much where I'm like, that's so respectable. Sure, here you go. Like,
what? Oh my god!
But like, if someone's like, oh, let me see them titties, I'm like, absolutely not.
That sounds bad. You're making it sound bad now.
Absolutely not seeing it.
Okay, I was saying more like a guy you're talking to, not like just a random guy. Like a guy you're talking to, what sounds worse? Asking for titty shots is worse than asking for boob shots.
I think when guys are specific, I'm like, don't tell me what I'm gonna send to you.
Just ask me, just send me pictures.
Just
send me a sexy photo.
Yeah, sure. Like, send me something sexy.
This is real questions, because these are troubles that guys have, you know? Because guys sit there and they debate, well, how do I send this?
Wait.
What do I say?
So it's on the same topic, but it's a little bit of a diversion.
Let's go.
The smirky face emoji. I was having this debate last night.
That looks so creepy, right? Does it look creepy?
Okay, no, I'm glad you said this because last night I was like talking with my friends and I was like, okay, the smirky face emoji is like by far like my most like flirty, like it's like mysterious, seductive. But then the guys next to me is like, no, it means like it's like I don't know, like the smirky face is like it's like indecisive, and I was like, interesting. So how do you feel about it?
I used to love using it, but I feel like I don't use it anymore. I feel like it's the one that's like a weird happy face, right? Are you talking about that one?
Is that the one that's like...
Yeah, yeah, that used to be like my favorite one, but I feel like it wasn't as good as just sending like a winky face or something. But if a chick sent me a smirky face, I like it. I think it's flirty.
So if a girl's like want to hang out with a smirky face, you're not like, oh, does she want to hang out? You're like, oh yeah, she wants to hang out.
Yeah, exactly. That's clearly she wants to hang out.
Okay, I'm so glad that this is on video, so I can show my friends and be like, I told you that it was fun. Because I literally started looking at my text, I'm like, oh my god, what do these guys think? And I'm like, what messages have I sent it to where it's like, they might not think that.
Yeah.
Yeah, both guys I was at my friend's house, and these two guys were like, yeah, no, it's very like, I don't know, like it's like very like confused. So I was like, oh no.
I've never gotten those vibes when I got a woman.
I've been using it wrong.
It's especially if you're saying want to hang out with a smirky face. It's like, all right, like let's kick it.
Okay.
That's very clearly I want to hang out.
I hope that you're the larger the demographic opinion than the other person.
How are the guys that are over there? Are they
Well, I'm not sending them smirky faces.
I'm not sending them.
They don't get it from me, so. I'm not going to now.
I can tell you, if you said the smirky face would want to hang out to any dudes I know, they would definitely think you want to hang out.
Right, okay.
Okay.
I mean, clearly. I don't really said that, but I imagine if I wanted to, I would I want to be very clear. But
how is the dating scene nowadays? How is that shit in 2020? Do you date at all? Have you dated? I'm not very much into the dating scene.
I've had my phases. I'm gonna be honest.
I barely made a Snapchat. Barely.
Okay, but you're 25, Troy. We need the guys who Snapchat message me. I'm like,
that's not good.
You clearly
Thank you for telling me.
You clearly never want a retirement plan in my mind. I'm like, you're still.
So
no.
how should they write you? Guys that
text me or call. Honestly, no, call me a little enough.
Just a little too much.
I don't know but honest case. So I've had my phases. I've definitely dated, and it's more so because I had my life plan, so I was like, oh, God, gotta really find my husband. But I don't know. It's it's hard to explain. I think that texting a lot before, because I've used apps before. When I was in the Virgin Islands, there's only 5 guys on the island, so I used apps whatever. And then now I have Hinge, because I'm Tinder's too.
I don't fuck with Tinder. I tried Tinder for a little bit, and I was like, this shit is fake women, and then half the women are don't look like the pictures, and it's just
Okay, but how do you? So have you dated off of Tinder yet?
Not dated. I've talked to a few ladies off of Tinder, and I never went through with kicking it with them, because I was
never
went through with kicking it with them.
Oh,
so I was
I never threw with a kid with them. I'm like, oh.
No, yeah.
I'm like, that's an interesting.
I don't plan on having a kid with anybody for the rest of my life. So
that's an interesting way to say that.
Yeah, no, I didn't go through with kicking it because I was like, they were just they're weird, or they added me on Instagram or something, and then I saw their pictures and they weren't really what they look like in the pictures in Tinder and stuff shit like that. But Tinder's just super too much for me.
But see, also this is your first time dating.
Yeah.
You were with
I literally was with my chick since freshman year of high school.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You've never dated before, and for me, I was super young when I was in my relationship, so coming, it was 21 when I started dating.
Yeah.
And then I'm over it now, but now I'm just at this point where I'm I don't need any guy who's giving me vibes about hooking up. So hooking up, I literally responded to my organs are aging. I need to settle down.
Oh my god! They probably won't even write you back. They're never mind.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
They're I'll help you settle down, baby.
My uterus no longer is accepting random hookups. Please, can we be more serious?
Oh my god! But I support your game. You're
I'm straight up. I'm no,
I'm not hooking up. I don't have time for that shit.
That's why I don't actively date anymore. But it's oh well, Justin likes me on Hinge. He's fine. But then I'm oh, he camps. That's cool. He shops at REI. He's my demographic. He could rock my Patagonia vest with me. I can see that.
You like camping?
Yeah, I do. And I like the things that go with camping.
I'm such a bitch when it comes to camping. I don't like bugs. I don't like none of that shit. I'll be running away.
Oh, okay. See, that's
nah.
That's funny you say that, because I'm also small things are bigger personality traits. Where I'm if a guy was I had this one guy who was there's a spider right there. Oh my god. And I was like, just get it. Like, just pick it up. Just take a paper towel and get it. And he was like, oh my god. And I was like, dude, like, get it.
Yeah.
Like, and that was like, I was like, I guess this is not.
This isn't working.
No,
I'll hit it, but I'll hit it as I'm screaming. Like, ah! I'll hit it and then I'll run away.
See, that's fine. But if you're like gonna make me do it, I'm like, that's like, I'll do it, but you're not gonna look very good at doing it. Like,
I'll do it and I'm not talking to you tomorrow. That's it. That's it. I'm just kidding.
Like, so yeah, I like camping, like outdoor things, like, and like, it's funny. Like, I never used to gravitate towards people who had the same like activities or like hobbies as me, but like that's super important. Like, if you don't like doing anything together,
why are we here?
What's the point? Like, it doesn't matter. So yeah, I do like that. So.
Have you ever gone like snowboarding?
Skiing.
Same shit, yeah.
I've done snowboarding, but I like having control of my hands. Or like
so you like skiing then?
Snowboarding's just like
Yeah. It just seems because you're like outdoorsy, so you like doing outdoor shit.
Yeah.
What about since you were on Catalina? You surf?
I don't surf. Like, surfing and snowboarding are probably my least.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of like, I know like everyone surfs and snowboards, but I'm just kind of like.
Just everybody does it, so you're like, yeah.
No, just like honestly, I've never surfed before. I don't know how that's happened. Do you surf?
No, I skimboard. I don't know if you know what skimboarding is.
Yeah, that's way more fun to me because
it's just easy. It's just like something you can just fuck around, you know.
It's easier to get a concussion doing that than surfing, but
definitely you're gonna hit some sand a little hard, yeah. But I skimboard, I snowboard a lot. Snowboarding is like my shit. I snowboard every year. Every winter I go to Big Bear, like Snow Valley. I've bought season passes before, so I enjoy snowboarding. I just like going down that mountain, and like you're just freedom, you know. Like how often can you just ride down like straight down a mountain, you know, and like just have your music on and just like I don't know. That's like my piece is just being outside riding my snowboard. That's pretty cool for me.
Yeah, I love that for people who have their escapes, especially when it's like outdoors. Like
that's like camping though. I'm sure camping you're probably out there just like, this is nice.
Yeah, there's something to it, and I think there's like almost the process is like what I enjoy. Like I like the setting up, and I obviously like the food aspect of it too. Like I have like the most ridiculous like camper stove, and like I could spend hours at REI looking at like the little the freeze dried things.
This is gonna be nice on my podcast. The yelling.
So you have the new editing thing you're
yeah. I can't edit the yelling out, but I could. You know.
You'd be surprised. You do.
I've had too much champagne.
No more brunch for you.
The mimosas have hit me too hard.
Yeah, speaking of that, I need you to do full-on Guy Fieri with these.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Hold on. Hey, have you ever watched Robbie Palomini?
Never heard of that.
Robbie Palomini, he's my, he went to La Quinta. Played football at La Quinta too, but he does this thing. You really got to check it out on Instagram. Flame on Fridays. And he does this cooking thing on Fridays. His own cooking show.
Literally knows nothing of eating good schmick because I've never been invited to this.
Yeah, you should and you should check it out. But because he works for Hargett. Do you know who Hargett is? It's like a gym out here. It's like a gym Hargett. Hargett. It's called Hargett Strength or something like that. But it's a gym and they do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and stuff like that. But they pay him to do this Flame on Friday thing every Friday, and it's pretty cool. He does a new meal every Friday, and he's just. You gotta watch that shit because I think you could do something along those lines and just anything, you know. And he's not a professional chef, but he just does it for fun, and he's just got a good personality, and a lot of people listen to it, surprisingly. So I don't know. I think you should do that shit, but let's test it.
Yeah, no, that's super interesting. You said okay. So so there's two flavors that I didn't. It looked nice in my mind, but okay. So the top is let's say salt. Let's say caramel.
This is caramel.
Is the flavor? Yeah, but there's bigger chunks once you eat it.
And this is what one is this one?
That's chocolate. Again.
These are good. These are really good. Really bomb.
They're so good.
These are fucking fire. I eat these all day. I like this more than weed. This shit is that good.
Perfect. That's a big statement. I really, you know what? All out. Love it. Better than Guy Fieri.
Hey, these are actually really good.
You know, you can just take them on the go, put them in a jar, mostly because I didn't have any more Tupperware.
How'd you make these? What was your...
So it's cornflakes, and then
I could eat those. I like these.
Yeah, they're really good. They're a little they're very definitely sweet. They're definitely a dessert. But
these are you take you eat a couple of them. Like
I almost thought about doing those. So again, this is like an unreleased Eating Good Schmidt recipe at the moment.
What is this? What is this recipe called?
So that's what I need. This is where I need the 100 podcast to help me out with because I'm not sure yet. But they're they're cornflake clusters, cookies, something. I need like a clever name though because my Eating Good Schmidt creativity has declined a little bit since the Pop-Tarts.
I'm a little faded too, so you're gonna have to ask me when I'm not faded on the name.
Okay.
I just keep looking at applesauce, and I don't think it's applesauce.
And then we'll go from there. But
these are really good. I like these.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Were these hard for you to make?
You can tell me after how you really
Were they? No, they're really good. I'm not bullshitting. I'm faded. I'll just tell you how I feel right now.
They're super easy to make, and that's like another thing too is I like being like transparent about on like my page being like, all right, this is actually a lot of work. Like if you're not down to make a day of it, don't do it.
I want to ask you actually. My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt, but the Pop-Tarts. How do you make those? Because that shit looks like hard. It looks like a work.
Okay, it can be, and then so out of all, like if you look on Eating Good Schmidt's like on my posts, like I have like select posts that like just do like I don't know if they're like someone reposted them or something, but they do have done like really well. And for whatever reason, like my initial Pop-Tarts recipe from like back in June just like took off, and I've had so many messages about it. So I was like, okay, like I want to do something really big with like Eating Good Schmidt, especially before I get super busy with grad school. So my initial recipe was like grain-free recipe. It was like all almond flour, all in the nicest way. How do I say this? A bunch of healthy bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like it was almond flour, milk foods, like all these like really bougie ingredients that I love, and a lot of like the food people that I have on my Instagram love, and like. But it's a hard dough. It's a hard dough to make. Like it took me like 6 hours to do the whole thing.
Really?
Like it's because you have to refrigerate the dough, and I made the recipe, so it's like this whole. And I'm like, the average person's not gonna make these. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like I would rather make them for them and just give it to them. Like it's a lot. They're really good, but it's a lot. So with this, like if you look on my page now, like there's like 5 recipes. Actually, there's 6. Like that's recent. I literally was like, you can do the crust recipe that I had. That's like a day of stuff, or go to Trader Joe's, go to the store and get pie crusts.
Oh, got you. And just use that.
It's just as good. It's like, and it's way easier. Where like you can make Pop-Tarts in like an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you literally just like take the pie crusts and put whatever filling you want or whatever. Like if you use my recipes, the different things, it's way easier.
Have you ever thought about just doing like a blog?
I do. So I have.
Oh, you have a blog?
Yeah.
Legit.
I don't keep up with it as much as I'd like to because I find that like my interactions like like my Instagram is where like people look for my recipes anyways.
Yeah.
But I do have one. Like I have like 5 or 6 recipes on there right now.
Yeah, I get you on that because I feel like blogs are kind of like I don't think people look at blogs as much anymore. Are blogs kind of?
Because I do a lot because I like Pinterest a lot for recipes.
That makes sense.
And I find myself. There's like with blogs, there's like all like the description, all the writing, and all this stuff, and I find myself just scrolling to the bottom to find the recipe.
Yes.
And like scrolling through the ads and stuff like that, and then so it's right now I'm not at a place where I'm trying to like monetize things. I'm just trying to like I still just like really enjoy it. So I kind of like steer away from the blog for now.
Yeah, but and I think you would take off even better if you ended up doing like a vlog or like a YouTube or a podcast about food or whatever. I think that would get more people anyways. Just because the blog, they don't really get your personality. They get it a little bit off your writing, but they don't really get you, And
I'm not a writer, and like I think I'd rather just talk about it and like go on and on about it.
Bring the other Sam in and
bring the other Sam.
How's the other Sam? Is she into food too?
She's good. So I met her in the Virgin Islands actually, and then she just like she's from Las Vegas, and she's like, can I move with you to Long Beach? I'm like, yeah, sure. So now she's here. So me, her, and my sister live together in Long Beach, and my son. My mom.
Your son, get the fuck out of here! You're gonna rethink saying that. Once you have a kid, you're gonna be like,
look at this podcast.
You're like, fuck, I didn't have a kid. The dog doesn't count. The dog
doesn't count. In 10 years without children and be like, yep, I have 4 sons now, and
they're all dogs. Nah, you're gonna have some kids.
We'll see.
You got that. You got those mommy vibes.
I know. I hope so. That's the goal. Yeah. Like I'm trying to just like give it off. Like go on dates and just give off this like maternal pheromone. Like
let's have a kid today.
Wife material.
Oh my god. Okay, what is this?
Okay, so these are like cheesecake coffee Cheesecake bites. Again, I need to think of a better name for them.
Cheesecake, coffee cake
but
bites.
No refined sugar. There is
eat?
regular flour in them though, so it's not like almond flour.
I don't even want to eat one because it looks so good. They smell good too. Not
Troy, it's really defeating the purpose if you don't eat one.
Hold on, let me show the people. Dude, look at that. Cheesecake, coffee cake bites. You can find them on Eating Good with Sam Schmidt or Eating Well or whatever the.
Eating Good Schmidt.
Eating Good Schmidt. That's what it is.
Wow.
Fuck you guys. Gosh. Remember the name.
How am I ever supposed to get any traction off this podcast? You gotta say my name.
Can't even remember the name, you fuck. Yup.
Full description. Full. Like, how do you feel?
You're so good. How I feel is X-rated right now. Oh. These are giving me a foot long. I appreciate them. They're so damn good. I'm so. My God.
You know, no one's ever reacted that way to my food, so I really, you know.
This is Guy Fieri, right? Well, a little too far.
Yeah.
X-rated.
I don't know if that would go on the Food Network, but you know, I like it. It goes with it. It's cool.
My spikes are just feeling really high today.
There you go. Perfect. We got the mimosas, got it all.
Yeah, I'm feeling really good. My hair is just feeling real blonde, like Guy Fieri. You know, got that blonde dyed spikes, you know. That's just bomb, though. I like these.
Thank you.
I really like these. I like the other one, too. I think that one's more of a, you gotta eat a little bit at a time.
Like, that's not as much. This is very, like, brunch themed.
This I would eat, like, all 5 at one time, but
yeah,
I'm trying to watch the calorie count.
I see. So, yeah, you're really into fitness and things.
See,
Are you doing it, like, so are you doing it career-wise? Me and Megan were talking about this last night, where we were like, what does Troy do? I'm like, I don't know. I think he does fitness things. I'm not sure.
I do drone photography. I do drone photography, videography. I have my FAA license, so that's, like, my main career choice, I guess, but I think I'm gonna get into like some sort of personal training or like sports training, something like that.
Have you looked at like the NASM certifications?
I was pretty close to getting my ACE certification. It was like I had done all the studying. I went to take the test. I failed it by like a question, and it was just that was like when I was an idiot. That was like probably like 4 or 5 years ago when I didn't even care. I was just kind of like just fucking around and just doing shit to do it. And now I think I'm really focused, so I'd pass it. But I just didn't really. I didn't study. I didn't really put in enough work. But yeah, something with that maybe I maybe open a gym or something. But right now it's just drone photography, drone videography, which is fun. I enjoy that. It's a little slow right now because the whole quarantine. But I don't know. I just work out. The fitness thing is just to keep me healthy. You know. Just,
yeah.
Keep my mind
gyms
right.
Open here?
There's 2 or 3, but they're all like private.
Oh,
I go to one that's Get Fit. It's in Palm Desert. It's like $50 a month. So, but the other ones that are private that are open are maybe like $150 a month or like $200 a month, which I'm not paying that. I'm paying the $50 a month.
No, probably not. But yeah, but
What about you?
I did.
You're looking fit like always. You've been fit since high school. You were fit in high school too.
Since junior year was my prime. I'm trying to get back to junior year of high school. I was just crushing. Yeah, I'm a certified like nutrition coach through the National Academy of Sports Medicine.
Really?
Yeah, which is like, I'm saying that like I'm a nutrition coach. Like no, I have the certification now, and then I have the tools to take the CPT exam. I'm just like I want to like mentally be there first before I like take the test and then go. But like there's jobs everywhere for personal trainers and all those types of things.
There is. Would you do would you be a nutritionist then? A nutritionist?
No, because it was more so I got the nutrition coach like certification more so to have a backing for Eating Good Schmidt. So I had like some sort of like a credibility. I kind of know a little bit about health, a little bit like, but I really do like. If anything, I'd want to teach like group classes because I do like that a lot.
Like group fitness,
group fitness would be more my thing than like a one-on-one because I'm not really a one-on-one person. I like group settings.
I feel the same way just because even the one-on-one too, like you might get stuck with people that like really aren't on the same level, you know, or like the same vibe. So like you're trying to train them and they're just not really like you know like when you're working a group, you can kind of just fit it all for everybody, and like you know, if you can't keep up, then just
and it's like doesn't matter. And
that's
why I think it's like everyone's thing is their own, and like when you're doing it one-on-one, it's very like serious and like personal. And it's like to me like if you can't, it's cool. Like everyone has their own like way of doing things. With group fitness, like I don't know, it's like I'm not a very serious person when it comes to like teaching in that way. So I'm like I'd rather do like.
Exactly.
But I did try. I was like in the process of doing my yoga like certification. I was like. I am not calm enough for this. I don't have any center. I was like, I can't.
I want to try yoga.
I love yoga, but I can't teach it because I am not chill at all.
You don't think so?
I literally be like, okay, now move. Like, there's no. Like, I would have to do like a cardio kickboxing or like something like high energy because I would get too like.
And just you can't sit down and just keep that calm.
Like talk like this.
Yeah.
And I love the instructors that do that. I love it's like find peace with the earth and this and like that's just not me.
Yeah, like, dude,
at all.
I don't. Whatever, dude. I don't know.
No, I know. I love it, but it's just I.
How is yoga? Because I've always wanted to try it. I've never tried it. I think it's. I love the sauna, so I would want to do like hot yoga. That's something I always wanted to try. How is that? Terrible? Don't do it.
Bikram yoga.
Yeah.
Literally, if you were like super into like torture, do you want to do like waterboarding too?
I love torturing myself.
Like.
I like being in difficult situations.
Bikram yoga. I was actually just talking about this yesterday. I was like, Bikram yoga is like one of the worst things I've ever done.
It's that hard?
It makes no sense why someone would want to make themselves feel that way.
Yes!
I was 18, and it was like, oh, college students get a free, like, $25, whatever, unlimited for the month. I'm like, ooh, I get so fit. And did it twice, and it was, what, like, really got for me, it was like, I couldn't breathe. It was like 118 in the room, and I'm like, of course I'm next to the thermostat, my mat's like, so I'm watching it, and I'm like, trying to move, and all of a sudden I see, like, these like pools of sweat dripping down from like other people, and I'm like, I'm out. Like this is too much. It's hard.
Yeah.
I know people who do like weights in Bikram, and I'm like, I don't know how it happens.
I don't know how you're doing that.
I don't know how you're doing it, but you should try it. Let me know. Do a podcast about it. I'll watch it, and on it you'd be like, yeah, so I had Sam Schmidt on the podcast once. She told me not to. Should have listened to her.
I didn't. I almost died.
And I'm not doing well anymore.
It's so funny.
Just go outside. You live in the desert. Just go outside and do yoga.
Yeah, that's what I even did an Instagram story the other day. Like, bro, like, because I was talking about people like staying fit, and I was like, dude, like, step outside and walk, motherfucker. You guys live in the desert. Like, take a walk. You'll sweat. Like, that counts as a workout. There you go.
I was quarantined here for like a month and a half, and I was walking, and then I had to stop because I was like, no more.
Yeah.
This is enough. Yeah.
Yeah, it's. Alright, how long are you down here for? The desert? Just for the weekend?
Yeah, I'm driving back to Long Beach right now. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Got things to do. People to see.
How is it in Long Beach? Are you loving living out there?
I do love Long Beach. Long Beach is super underrated. Long Beach is actually so much fun, and it's huge. It's like you have the city of LA without being in LA, and then you have like kind of Orange County, like I don't know, things. I love it. I get to walk around everywhere. I live like right next to Pine Street, so I live downtown. I mean, I would love to go to campus. That's really the only thing I can say about it. Mm-hmm. But Long Beach is great, honestly. Yeah. I don't know if I could live in the desert again. Mostly, everyone's like, I feel like all desert kids are like, the desert's the worst. It's like, oh my god.
I hate it.
Yeah, I'm like, you hate the desert?
I hate it. I'm like all those desert kids.
Okay, well...
It's the worst. I hate it.
Okay. But my thing is, I'm like, alright. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't think I can live in the proximity of my parents that closely.
Yeah.
But the desert's not the worst place. We had, like...
There's just so many old people here. And so many haters here.
Haters? There's
haters
everywhere.
There's haters.
Like, I don't, like...
You're right.
It'd be news to me if I had haters.
You're right.
No, but it's like, I mean, literally, like, our hometown, we live 2 hours from the snow, 2 hours from the mountains, 2 hours from the beach.
Yeah.
We were, like, we had access to and then, like, we had, like, our, like, affordable living here. Like, there's so much about the desert that's really great.
Yeah. It's not that bad, yeah.
I have people, like, oh my god, like, I'm gonna never go back to the desert, this is the worst. I'm like, alright,
You know what's so crazy? Is the desert, we talk about how it's the worst, but 99.9% of us would never leave California.
Oh, no, I would...
Any other state sucks. You know what I'm saying?
I lived in the Virgin Islands, and I was like, yeah, no, I love the Virgin Islands, and I would love to have a life here, but, like, California's kind of where I gotta go.
Yeah, you have to be in California.
Yeah, I wouldn't move out of California now. Like, unless I was going back to the Virgin Islands, I wouldn't move out of California.
Yep, exactly. And that's kind of how I feel. I feel the same way, because I hate on the desert, but I feel like I had the good life growing up, you know? I lived in California, so I can't live anywhere else.
I was chilling. Like, I was doing, like, I think that's when I hear that about the desert, I'm like, what about your experience was so bad? Because literally, LQ kickbacks was life. We were chilling. We were like that was our, like, our biggest stress in life was like, what's the address for the Cove?
What's the address for the kickback?
Where do we go? We're like, who's gonna get us a fifth of Smirnoff? Or Smirnoff, can't say the word. Smirnoff. Like, I just feel like, I don't know.
I feel the same way. I get you. I think it's too, like, what you make of it. It's what you make of where you live, I do think, though, a lot of people here in the desert are very comfortable with where they're at, and so they kind of... I have seen a lot of people I thought were friends and stuff that tend to like to hate. They'd rather hate or, like, rather, like, not support, Like, how hard is it to hit a subscribe button on YouTube,
Oh, I see
or,
what you're
like,
saying.
follow your Instagram, you're eating well with... Eating good with Schmidt. Like, what?
Alright, so I think you should just end the podcast.
Don't attack me. I
can't believe this.
I'm the only one drinking this.
Eating well?
Eating good with Sam Schmidt? See, look at you. You're one of those desert people. Look at that. Hater style right now.
Because there's a difference between hating for purpose and hating for... Wow, I was just about to give you... I was like, no, you're doing so much great things with the podcast, but now I'm like eating well with Schmidt.
Eating good with Sam Schmidt.
No!
Eating good with Schmidt.
No! Eating good Schmidt.
Eating good Schmidt.
It's supposed to be a play on words, and you're taking like eating. It's like eating good shit.
You should not have gave me any champagne for this podcast.
I didn't say, oh, please, Troy, you must drink this.
I had to.
It's like
eating good Schmidt. I got it. It's already done. Episode 59, eating good Schmidt. All right, but like I said, I feel like a lot of people just are very comfortable being here in the desert, and they don't like seeing people doing their own thing.
But going back to what you were saying about, with your podcast and everything, you going out and doing this, especially with desert people, is like really commendable because when there's a lot of people, desert people are like, what podcast? Like,
fuck that.
Oh my god. Well, initially, like, when I heard about it, I was like, what do you mean? Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm gonna be honest. I was like, what do you mean doing podcasts? I need more, like, information, like, what's going on.
What is that?
And it wasn't until I watched, you're like, one of them where I was like, okay, I see what he's doing. I'm sure people were like, when they saw, like, my thing, like, they're like, why is she making Pop-Tarts?
I don't even know how I found your shit. I don't even know where it came. It must have popped up on my Instagram or something somewhere.
Instagram fame,
Yeah, you are. It's moving. Man.
No, but I commend you for because in the way of with desert people and what you're saying, like, a lot of people are probably like, oh my god, Troy's making a podcast. Oh my god, this and that.
Exactly.
But now it's like as you continue to stick with it, people are like, oh, like he's actually serious about it. He enjoys doing it.
And you're right, because I do feel that way, because I think people, they hate it in the beginning, because they're like, this guy's not going to stay with it. He's not going to stick with what they're doing. Like, I'm sure with yours, like, they're not going to stick with, baking all the time and cooking all the time, posting all the time. And then as they see you keep doing it every single week after week, then people slowly turn from those haters to, like, they're like, oh, okay. Like, they kind of start to support. And I've seen it even on myself, like you said, like, how's it being Valley famous? It's weird. I've walked into, like, The Habit, for example, had my mask on, ordering food, and some random dude walked up to me, hey, bro, you run the 100 podcast? I'm like, you listen to it? He's like, yeah, bro, like, I heard you just, and that's weird,
I love that for you, though.
That's so
really
cool, though. That makes me want to keep doing it,
it's little things like that that'll keep you going for, weeks and months at a time.
Exactly.
And, this is going to sound just really cheesy and cliche. I don't even know if cliche is the word, but it's... desert people, you can say whatever you want, but, we are in the same realm of, social media and things, and it's, if I see you doing something, we should all be supporting each other.
Exactly.
Whether you stop doing this podcast tomorrow or I stop making donuts tomorrow, we all should just follow, mute my stuff, or follow you, subscribe. You don't have to listen to it, but just, support each other.
Exactly. And I don't think it's that hard, like following your Instagram or subscribing to my YouTube, because, we all know 1,000 people, and for me to monetize my YouTube, that's all I need is 1,000 subscribers, that's all I need. And it's bro, I know 1,000 people. I know 1,000 people have seen my YouTube channel. It's bro, hit the subscribe button. Not very hard.
What has been do you have certain episodes that have just done incredibly better than others?
I had my best episode. I had my buddy Beto on, and he's in a wheelchair, and I met him at EOS at EOS Fitness, and he just talked about because in high school he became paralyzed, and so he talked about that story. They were driving up 74, him, a couple buddies, and some ladies or whatever, and they're drunk, and his buddy drove off the cliff basically on 74, and they all basically flew out. Well, I think some of them stayed in the car, but he didn't have a seatbelt on, so he flew out. He got ejected out the window, and so he was just laying there on some rocks, and he said he couldn't breathe because I think he had a punctured lung, and so he told his buddy to like move him, like, hey, like I can't breathe, bro, you gotta move me. So his buddy moved him, and then like he goes to the doctor. The doctor says, man, like if you never got moved, you would be walking today, and like so whatever he did, his buddy moved him, whatever made him paralyzed for life. So that story took off. Like that podcast I've had, like the most I've had is maybe like 150 views, and that podcast has over 500. And I don't even know why. And it was on YouTube. It has over 500. And I don't know. I think it's just because people kept sharing it. Like we both cried. Like it was like a real podcast. It was real. You know. Yeah. So like, and that's what my goal is. I'm not here to bullshit people. I'm not here to like, you know, be fake. I'm here to like have real conversations with real people, and like Joe Rogan, he has these real conversations with people that have already done it. You know, like they've done it, they've made it, they have careers. I'm doing it with people that haven't done it yet. Like we're in the middle of building our career. You know, so that's kind of why I enjoy it. I enjoy doing it just because I see us as we're in the middle of the grind, and then maybe 10 years from now we'll look back at this episode and be like, damn, I did what I was talking about, or I totally changed what I was doing. You know, so. I don't know. That's kind of, that was the one that took off. And then I've had other ones, like I've had Dejan and Kenyon on, and we had one, it was called Question Life Itself. And we talked about everything from like religion to Donald Trump to Joe Biden to Hillary Clinton to everything. It was just like, we just went in deep on it. And we were talking shit on everything, you know? So it was like, that got a lot of views too, but I think it's because it's controversial. We were just like, you know, like. And so, yeah, I don't know. I just think the ones that are very out there, more out there, and more kind of like just, everybody's being themselves. Like this one probably I think will be good because we drank from the start, you know? Like we're like, people are like, let's see what happens, you know? Like so.
It's like, oh gosh, Sam's drinking. Like that's what like, oh no.
I don't even remember you drinking.
We know how she gets.
I don't even remember you getting wild like that, so I don't even know. I don't remember you getting too wild. Maybe partying a little bit.
I mean, it's been about 8 years, so that
makes
sense.
Yeah, there you go.
But
that's crazy, right? I'm surprised you're on the podcast. What made you decide to do it? Because I haven't talked to you since high school.
I mean, so I knew about I knew about the podcast, and I watched like the one episode I told you about, and then I mean, you reached out to me, and I was like, yeah, like I've never done a podcast before, and it was like me and my friend Sam have been like thinking about doing one, and it was like I really liked the way you did yours, and then that was and I was like, I could talk about eating good Schmidt.
I remembered it already.
Yeah.
I already got it down. Okay. Yeah. Watch at the end when I say, hey, you gotta talk about it.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really think my like fertility would come into it. That's probably something I'm gonna think about later and be like, I probably shouldn't have done that. But like, you know, it's life.
This is the podcast. We've already done this over an hour, I think. I think we're already past an hour.
Oh wow.
Let's see. Yeah, we're at hour 20.
There's no way people are going to want to listen to me talk that long.
Oh, yeah, they will.
There's
like
no way. That's so funny.
I don't know how people keep listening to my podcast. I'm like, fuck, you guys haven't gotten tired of me? I'm at, like, episode 60 of you guys talking.
When I literally watched that one episode, I kid you not, literally, Atlas was sitting right here, Bridget was sitting right there, and I was like, they were, like, grabbing fries. Like, oh, my God.
That's so funny.
So
Bridget Bark?
Bridget Bark.
That's crazy. I haven't talked to that lady.
Bridget Bark and Megan Moon, still a trio.
Still, that's cool. I like that. My BFF, that boy's in jail, so I don't got mine. But I'm happy you guys stuck together. That feels good when because like outside of high school, it's hard to find like real good friends. You know, like a lot of people you meet. You know, you guys already have like your group, so that's good. You guys have your crew still, and it's big. It's big to have a good what should I say, like backbone. Like it's good to have those people that you know you can support, that can support you all the time, especially in hard times. Yeah,
I agree, and good to reconnect too, because there's people that like you grow apart from in high school, and then like there's people lately that I'm like, oh hey, like how are you, and you like have more in common than you think too.
Exactly. So, well, obviously, we went over an hour right here. Shit, we're killing the game on this podcast. I haven't talked. Well, that's why we haven't talked in so long. So shit. Time to catch up.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. What else are you doing? What else are you doing in life besides your teaching and besides your eating good with Schmidt? Eating good Schmidt.
Well, I have full custody of my dog.
Jesus Christ.
That's the big one.
Have you done any big traveling?
Recently?
Well, just at any time since outside of high school?
Oh, since outside. Yeah, so I lived in Ireland for a while. I lived in Colombia for a little while.
Okay. All right. Now we got another 30 minutes for this podcast. So, how was that living in Ireland and Colombia?
Lived in Ireland.
And what was your favorite type of guy? Colombian guy or Ireland? Irish. Gotta be, right? Colombian?
Guys are not special.
Oh, they're not?
Colombian women are. What would I provide for somebody, a Colombian man, when literally all the Colombian women are drop dead gorgeous? I'm like, never mind, don't mind me. I'm just teaching here.
I'm just teaching here.
The only thing that the only reason that I was anything in Colombia was when I take my sunglasses off. No one has blue eyes there, so then people would be like, "You're not from here." That was literally Colombian women are like outstanding looking, and they're just like, I mean, every Colombian woman I met was just like flawless, beautiful, nice, wonderful, lovely. I'm like, I need to get out of here. Like,
I need to leave. This is not for
all
me.
the men were, but like, sorry, that should have a huge generalization. All the men I met were not.
They weren't that.
Compared to the women, I'm like, you guys need to come with me. Back to California.
Come to America.
All my friends would love to date you. No, so I was actually in Ireland because I was dating somebody, so I guess I didn't really I wasn't looking at a selection of people.
You were in Ireland because you were dating. What was he doing in Ireland?
Living there. He was Irish.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, I was. Yeah.
Is it like how they say? Is that like a fighting country over there? You see a lot of fights and a lot of drinking.
A lot of drinking, not a lot of fighting.
No.
I mean, also I don't really go to places where they like.
Yeah.
No, I mean I was actually there for the big Conor Mcgregor fight, whenever that was.
Really?
2018 or something, or 2017. I don't know. That was. Yeah, I was there for that. That's what was fighting. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I mentioned it, because Conor
Yeah,
McGregor.
so I was in Northern Ireland, on and off. Probably collectively, I was there 4 or 5 months, maybe. But yeah, it's beautiful. Ireland is as beautiful as you'd imagine.
If you could choose, would you live in the United States? Is that you'd always come back to the United States?
Yeah. Oh, Ireland. I love Ireland, but by the end, I was get me out of here. My skin was gray, my hair was black. I was it's too cold. I had to leave. Dublin Airport had shut down the week I was supposed to leave, and I literally called them, their customer service. I'm like, you need to get me home to California. Oh. I am horrendous to look at right now.
Yeah, because there's no sun and shit.
No sun.
Right?
It's 11 degrees, in the winter months, and I was just.
Damn.
Yeah, you just don't adjust to that kind of stuff.
You were starting to look Irish, huh? Yeah,
I was looking something.
Even
the guy I was dating was like, you need to go. You are becoming evil. I was cranky. I was just sleeping in till noon, and I wake up at 6. That's not me at all.
Yeah.
Weather is a huge thing. I would never be able to live in Seattle or anything like that.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. It rains
gloom,
all the time.
Yeah, that gloom weather. I feel you on that.
Yeah. I would still always choose California, if not the Virgin Islands. Those are the only 2 places I could never see myself living my life.
How important is it? Cause you said you wake up at 6. How important is it for you to wake up at a reasonable time? Because I feel like it's very important for myself. Waking up and let's say I wake up at 10. I feel like my day's fucked. I feel like I fucked my whole day up because I woke up late. I didn't get to hit the gym on time. I hit the gym at 2 and my day's already over. How do you feel do you wake up early every day? Is that
Yeah. Also, I always woke up early every day, but I also if I don't wake up early every day, I have a chomping at my hair type of thing.
Oh, gotcha, yeah. So that's that mom life, that dog.
That mom life, So it's hard. And then I'm usually ideally 6:30 is ideal for me. I'm a psychopath in routine. I love honestly having a dog has given me routine across the board. I love it. I'm such a morning person. I don't do anything at night. I tried doing my grad homework last night, and I'm staring at it. I was like, this isn't gonna work.
You're just all tired and shit.
No, I just it's just crazy how I have friends who will stay up till 2 in the morning. And after 8, not worth it.
After 8, not worth it. That's
my ideal
crazy.
time is wake up at 6:30, go to bed at 9:30. I'm telling you, I have my soccer mom layout ready to go.
You're just waiting for the man to get in there.
I'm not waiting for the man. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm chill. I told you, I'm content now, but I'm telling you, I have it laid out when it's ready.
Hey, you know what's so funny is right now when you're talking, I just figured out your play on words on your Instagram. Eating good Schmidt instead of eating good shit. Is that the play on words?
Yes.
I literally just figured that out.
Yes.
An hour and 20 minutes into the podcast. Shout out.
We should have went over this in my, like, I should have had flashcards for you to study.
Yeah.
Cause
now I got it down.
Yeah, and then, like, my personal...
Eating good Schmidt, that's so easy now.
My personal Instagram is doing fun Schmidt. So it's like doing fun shit, eating good shit.
Wow, that is so easy.
Yeah, simple.
Aren't you the teacher? You couldn't have gave me the the cards before?
I know, I should have sent you, like, I should have sent, like, a Google Drive to study. Study, like, here's my social security number, here's where I'm from, here are my interests. Like, go from this.
Still my information. Still all my information. Get all that.
Here's my dating history, so just go over all of it, please, and then we'll go.
We started going through it. We did. So
you got it all.
You dated Irish.
I
know that.
Irish, yeah.
But then again, you said there's a couple guys over there on the Virgin Islands.
Yeah, I don't really have a demographic.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say
it's across the board. I'm telling you, this is where I've gotten in trouble.
You went very one-sided. You went very the other side.
It's been a problem. I'm trying to center down. Gotta stay really domestic.
What?
Going forward.
All right. What are you looking for in a man? Let's finish. Let's go. Let's get into this Dr. Phil shit. Let's hear. What do you want from a guy?
Ooh, I really should have had mimosas because that's making my head very, very fuzzy. That's a big question.
Ooh, I'm drinking. That's why I'm getting these questions out from these.
What do I want? You need to be more specific. Like, give me like. Ask me specific questions, because I'm not going to do the list things.
Okay, what... Ask you something specific.
Yeah.
Okay, I got one. What is a pet peeve? What is something, like, right off the bat, you're like, fuck this, dude? Like if you're dating a guy and then you see something like, this is not it. What is your one, like, not doing it?
Boyfriend. That's one.
My ex-boyfriend.
So I'm like, ooh, yeah, probably not anymore. Thank you. I'm trying to think. What did he do? Is this like right off the bat? Like
right off the bat, maybe.
Right off the bat. Okay.
We're going so random in this podcast. We're going into relationship advice here.
You know, it's like I said, like little things are bigger personality traits for me.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, I can see that because the little things, they add up. You know what I'm saying? Like those little things, you're like, all right, this isn't just, oh damn, we went through this. I went through it. Okay.
You do.
You've had like
can't
2
glasses.
glasses.
Can't feel my face anymore, so it's fine. I think that like I'm very like easygoing in a lot of ways. Like when guys like get upset, like I've had like dates where guys get like really upset about little things, and to me that's like immediately like no, like
you're like, dude, chill.
Like especially like restaurants, or like if a guy gets like upset about anything at a restaurant, or like
that kills me too.
Mistreats like anyone, I'm like, no, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, because that's like, dude, these people are working, bro. Like, and you're just being a dick
and, like,
for
who
what?
Cares? Like, really, like in the scheme of life, like road rage guys, like that's not gonna happen for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, whatever.
Exactly.
That's a big one.
That's something from you. I can tell that's something from you just growing up, dealing with experiences, you know, like going to like Virgin Islands or whatever, like you're just so grown up, like that's so immature, like getting so angry at like a person at a restaurant, or like road rage, like dude, like what's the point of wasting your anger on that, you know?
Yeah,
like,
that's a big thing for me. It's like it doesn't matter, like it doesn't.
Why waste your energy?
Like who cares? Yeah, that's like for some reason that's like what comes to my head first. Is,
that's
like,
a good one.
It's people who are just like. Really? Like, just laugh about it. Who cares? Like, I'm, like, a big person in, like, stories. Like, I love, like I was even just saying last night to, like, my friends, and, like, there's nothing worse than, like, an date with somebody. Because, like, that's not a good story. If it's a bad date, you can tell that story for the rest of your life. If it's a great date, awesome, cool, you might keep dating that person.
Yeah.
But, like, bad date stories are, like, my favorite thing. Like, there's
so
you
want I like that.
That's what I'm saying when you're, like, saying, like, oh, like, Tinder, like, oh, I've had these bad dates. I'm like, that's the best thing, because you get to tell those stories, like, oh my god, the stories I like, oh, just shit show. It's the best.
Yeah.
So, like, because it's like, you can be like, oh, don't even get me started. Like, this one time. And, like...
Do you know where my next question is going to be now?
Oh god, don't ask me stories.
What is your favorite bad date? What is your bad date story? We'll end it on that. Let's end it on a good one. Let's end it on your favorite bad date story.
Okay. There's like 3 that I have to narrow down. Well,
one's where you drop all 3 of them.
One's a little inappropriate.
I really want to listen to the inappropriate one.
I'm not going to give that one out to the
Damn
whole desert's not ready. They're just hearing from me again. I don't want to give them everything.
Got you. Okay. We'll wait it out. On the next episode. We'll get those. the X-rated one.
Shoot.
This is morning mimosas. We gotta keep it peachy pichy.
I got okay, this is the only one that's like coming to my mind right now. Is like I got kind of catfished and like not, but like it was like catfish is when it's like not the actual person, but like he was the actual person. So I'm like realizing like my demographic of people is like hiker, like shops at REI probably, like
just like outdoors,
outdoorsy, probably like is into having a 4Runner or a Subaru too, like just just like one of those.
Yeah.
Probably has granola bars in his pocket type of thing.
Oh my god. Okay.
That's like my demographic. So I was like 3 or 4 years ago, and this guy was like picture perfect, my demographic, like this like, but he's like this like tall, lanky like hiker dude, and I'm like okay, like he's 90 pounds, like he's a little whatever,
a little thin, but I'll make it work.
He's fine. He's cool. He's whatever. Let's call him. I actually don't even know his name. Let's like Mark is his name.
All right.
And I've been talking to him on something. I don't remember, some app. And then I'm like, okay, like let's meet up for drinks or whatever. And then I call him and I'm like, hey, I'm here. Like, where are you? And he's like, I'm here. I'm like, it's a pretty small bar. Like, I don't know where you are.
I don't see you.
And he's like, no, I'm right here. I'm like, where? And he like raises his hand, and I'm like, oh no. I was like, oh god. And this guy, like, I was like, there's no way this is the same person. Like, it's gonna sound so bitchy. I really don't mean to say. He's probably like.
No, this isn't gonna sound bitchy because that's on him.
He's probably about like 350 pounds at this point. Like, so it's and like that's fine. Like, I don't care. Like, I would just my thing is like I just rather you have photos that like look like you. Like, I don't care. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
So it was like very like, oh, hi. So it was like, but it was, you could tell it was definitely him. I don't know if his photos were like from when he was like 23 or like when he was 30 now, and I was like, okay, whatever. Again, I'm a very like benefit of the doubt person. Like, I'm like, I will still talk to you. Like,
you're such a cool person, honestly. Like, that's tight.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I was like, whoa.
You're a little, yeah.
But I was like, you know what? He could still be really great. Like, I enjoyed talking to him before, so whatever. So I'm like, I'll do my hour, and maybe I'll fall in love with him. You know, he could be my soccer dad. Whatever, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
The guy was a dick. The guy was literally the worst. Like,
really?
Oh my god, he was like, he was the worst. He's like, do you have like a 401k? And this time I'm like 20. I'm like 21. I'm like, no. And he was like, well, I just like criticizing me, and I was like, all right, this guy sucks. And I'm like, all right, I'm about to leave. But then something came about Tinder, and I was like, he's like, yeah, do you use Tinder a lot? And I was like, I mean, kind of. He's like, yeah, well, yeah, I went on this date the last time, and I went to lunch with this girl, and he goes, you wouldn't believe it. This girl was the worst. And I'm like, you don't say. I'm like, tell me more.
Yeah.
And he was like, he's like, oh, this girl, I went to lunch with her. She had a scar down her chest. Like, and she did not disclose that in any of her photos, and she was just so ugly because of that scar. I was like, are you serious? And he's like, I just really think that people should disclose how they really look in their photos. I was like,
you're like, what about?
I was like, are you serious?
This guy is just straight sideways.
I was like, oh my god. And then he like, so after that, I'm like the way I was just sitting around, I'm like, oh my god. I was like, I gotta go.
You're like ready to go.
I was like, you are so crazy. And then I'm like, this dude is like, looks nothing like his photos. And he's like totally talking about this girl. I'm like, oh my god. And then I'm like, okay. And he like whispers and he's like, hey, do you want to go through a slutty phase with me? And I was like, that's it. I'm out. Goodbye.
That's what he told you?
Yeah, I was like, see you, Mark. This isn't happening again.
Jesus.
I was like, but like, honestly, like that situation with like him, it was like, the day I would never have told the story again if he wouldn't have said like, yeah, this girl, man, she had a scar. Poor girl probably like heart bypass surgery. Yeah. She's probably recovering.
She looks exactly the same, just has the scar.
Has a scar. And I'm like, poor girl is fighting for her life, and you are over here just using your old photos. I'm like, oh my god.
They should really look exactly how they look.
I was like, okay.
Bro, you look like two of you.
I was like,
you look like you had a second
what's
of
happening here? Like, I mean, whatever. I would never say anything if the guy was nice. I'd probably be married to him right now. But you know what? Here we are. It's a good story.
That's crazy, yeah.
So, Tinder, you do have to watch out for, but they're good stories. Because you're like, what?
Yeah.
People are so strange.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. My crazy story is just my crazy baby mama. That's it. I could.
I'm sure she really appreciates you just saying that.
I could go for days on that.
I
but
really hope she doesn't watch your podcast.
She doesn't.
Because if I was her, I'd be like, "Are you serious?" I would report you 1,000 times.
I hope she does.
If I was her and you were saying that about me, I would get all my friends and report you and get your account taken down.
I wish you were my crazy baby mama because you're a lot nicer than my crazy baby mama.
You would not have the 100 podcasts, let me tell you.
I would not.
I would be like, girl power. I gotta stick with her. I'd be like, you know what? Report him.
Oh, fuck that. Like that. Let's wrap this shit up. Right. Eating Good Schmidt on Instagram and Doing Fun Schmidt.
That one's boring.
Okay. Yeah. Well, drop your shit. Drop your blog too, so people can hear it.
When you drop it.
Like say it.
Okay. So yeah. So
that's like new words. Drop it. That's like new style.
Well, you just dropped it, so I was like, I'm gonna drop it differently.
I want you to drop it, eh?
Drop it individually. Okay.
Drop it. You drop it. It's your shit.
So Eating Good Schmidt.
I'm looking forward to having you on the podcast again. This is fun.
Yeah.
Thank you for the Sunday
We'll move on to like X-rated dating stories as time goes on.
As you get deeper into it.
As the desert prepares themselves for me because they're not ready yet.
I think they're ready.
I
think a lot of my listeners are gonna like this podcast and be like, "Hey, where's the X-rated one? We're waiting for the X-rated one."
Where's the one girl with the mimosa? She's
getting wild.
She's like a car crash.
She's like a car crash.
But you're like, oh.
I gotta check it. I gotta see. Yeah.
But Eating Good Schmidt, eatinggoodschmidt.com. Mostly Eating Good Schmidt on Instagram.
Oh, you have a website too?
Yeah.
Eatinggoodschmidt.com.
How
is that? Do you like it?
It's not very active at the moment, but there's.
Is that the blog? Is that
but there's recipes on it. So, but yeah, I post things about life and food and my dog.
Yeah, I've been seeing your dog.
So far, people.
Your dog looks like he's living the life.
He is living the life. Yeah. But.
Shout out to your dog. What's your dog's name?
Atlas. Because I'm a geography teacher, so I had to stay on brand.
Oh my god. Shout out Atlas. Living the life with Eating Good Schmidt.
Right. That was fun.
Episode 59, we're done.
Woo! How you feeling?
I feel good.